We've got a great show lined up for you here on Retiring Well. Going to be talking about communication standards. What does that look like, and have they fallen off over the years? What about financial planning for families? Looking at that multi-generational aspect. And then how do you keep the golden years golden? I'm looking forward to hearing from Virgil on that. And then lastly, when things are going too good, what does that exactly mean when it's in the markets, and how does that impact you? So all of this and a whole lot more coming up right here, right now on Retiring Well.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well. Plan to retire well.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. Art and I, we recognize we're in the financial services industry, but the key word there is service, in our opinion. And we've seen as we maybe go about town and you're out and about, maybe the service level seems to have fallen over the past several years. And so with these standards that we look at, whether it's, say, slower service, maybe inconsistent quality, and poor communication seems to be somewhat what the new standard is. And it's something from our perspective, it's just not acceptable.
Absolutely. Whether, as you talked about, whether you're going out to eat or whether you're walking into a retail store or something where you're looking to have help, it's kind of become this, you're lowering your standards and just dealing with that and almost expecting in some cases that it's just things aren't going to get taken care of. Or, we found ourselves as a family going out to eat the other day, and we walked into this restaurant, sat down, ordered our food, and basically my wife and I looked at each other and we said, our food isn't going to come out right, just by the attitude that the individual had that was taking our order. And sure enough, as our food came out, it wasn't our order, it wasn't what we had. And there we are with, 5 children waiting for the food to come back out again later.
Yeah. And so, it's one where for our office, I'll say we have people come in regularly, or people that have called in, and it's almost when they've left a voicemail and then they get a call back within a reasonable time, they're shocked. They're like, I'm not used to that. And they've talked about how, well, I've worked with this financial advisor, and we just sort of, if we don't get them the opportunity to talk right away, we just assume we're never going to hear back from them. And that's not acceptable. It's one where you've worked your entire life to save this money, and so you're deserve to have that treatment in your retirement planning to make sure that you're well taken care of. And I know for a lot of you, it might be sometimes, I know we talk with a lot of folks that it's they've moved from downstate and now they've retired up north, and sort of the experience to expect.
Absolutely. Whether in today's day and age, communication can be done anywhere in the world at about any time, right? So communication has almost never been easier in our lifetimes, whether that's via a Zoom call, via a phone call, via email communication, various forms of communication, and getting responses back in a reasonable amount of time. And like John said, this is your life savings. This is something that is obviously very important to you, but should be very important to the individuals that are assisting you with that, and having a team of people that are capable and ready to assist in that matter. That's why here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, across all of our locations, we believe in working as a team. So that way, if you're looking to get a hold of John or I or any of our advisors in our outlying locations, you're not just relying on one individual. That's always scared me when folks talk about, I have to talk to this one person. And if that one person's on vacation, or heaven forbid they're out sick, or they're dealing with a challenge in their life, the world has to stop, or your financial world has to stop in that situation. That should not be the case. That high level of communication, that high level of confidence, and all that sort of stuff when it comes into this service needs to continue on, because let's face it, you don't know when the next issue or question you may have may arise.
Yeah, and it's valuable too, I'd say, with those different locations that we have. We try to offer services to folks all across Northern Michigan and make it as convenient as possible for you so that that you can have that sit down face to face that can be important. And so that if you're in that situation and maybe you've had the advisor, say downstate or wherever you worked all those years and worked with that advisor, and now you're at a stage where you're saying, well, but I may need a little bit more attention and maybe some of those additional services that we offer, whether it's tax planning or getting into the health insurance planning, and how we can bring a cohesive plan together. Maybe you're in that situation and you're asking yourself, well, maybe I feel like I deserve a little bit better than what I've been getting.
And absolutely, just as we talked about earlier, all these forms of communication now with technology, there's nothing as great as a sit down, face-to-face meeting, especially talking about your finances and your lifetime retirement and financial plan. Having that conversation back and forth, getting to know each other, and just those emotions that come out in that. It's such a great thing to be able to do that and have all of that. And that's why we hold quarterly market luncheons in person and have these various things where we're constantly trying to communicate with our clients so they know we're here and they know that we're taking good care of their finances and their individual situations. So if it's something you don't feel like you're getting in your current situation, we'd love to sit down and have a meeting and see each other in person and walk through that so you can plan to retire well.
If you are nearing retirement or already retired, we invite you to an exciting and informative live event with a complimentary gourmet dinner to help you plan to retire well. There is no cost and no obligation, and dinner is on us. Information is power. Let us help you make educated financial decisions, such as understanding Social Security do's and don'ts. What year-end tax planning opportunities should you consider? Is your financial plan still on track? Alphabet soup with retirement plans. What should you be using? Asset location versus asset allocation. Which matters more? We are Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial professionals, specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan, with offices in Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, Cadillac, and Manistee. Call 888-608-5825 or register online and choose the date and location that works best for you. Tuesday, September 9th at Boone's Long Lake Inn in Traverse City. Wednesday, September 10th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Manistee. Wednesday, September 10th at the Perry Hotel in Petoskey. Tuesday, September 16th at Slate in Traverse City. Wednesday, September 17th at Treetops Hunters Grill in Gaylord, or Wednesday, September 17th at Ferris State University in Big Rapids. The live event starts at 6:30 p.m. and is free to attend, with a complimentary gourmet dinner to follow. But seating is limited and tends to fill quickly. Call 888-608-5825 or register online to reserve your seats today. Don't miss this important live event to help you plan to retire well. After more than a decade of stock market growth, volatility jolted investors back to the harsh reality of occasional market pullbacks in the investing cycle. Download our free white paper, Navigating Market Volatility. It's all about perspective, for an in-depth analysis of historic lessons and time-tested investment strategies. Simply go to sen-wealth.com, scroll down and click the link Navigating Market Volatility. It's all about perspective to receive your free copy of this valuable and informative resource.
Whether you're a young couple just starting out or you're a young family juggling academics or after-school activities, or maybe you're nearing retirement and you want to help your adult children with some money, you're in the right place. Today we're going to talk about financial planning for families and the importance to talk about these things and stay strong together. Now, let's talk about something that people overlook, and that's just plain old communication. Communicating with your spouse on what your goals are for the future, like maybe buying your dream home, working towards that, or even what your thoughts are on retirement and how you want that to look, or maybe even saving for your children's education. It's very important to get clear on these things and just plain old talk about it. And then talk with your kids. Even the little kids can really benefit on just talking about smart money decisions. Now, I know that when I was younger, my mother I would have like a lemonade stand or something small, and my mother would put it in a savings account for me. And then if it grew big enough, she'd put it in a high yield savings account. And then I was able to see that compound interest grow. Now that did something for my brain as a little one because I definitely think about that. Is my money working for me? And money can also be emotional. So if you don't talk about those things, there could be hard conversations down the road that you might have to face if you don't talk about it now. So a client came in recently into our Traverse City office, and he came in for a routine review meeting on his accounts, and he had questions about, he wanted to start saving for his grandchildren's future. So he wanted to take their birthdays and their Christmas gift, and he wanted to put them in an account so that they would grow over time. And then when they're 18, they're going to get all of that money. Now, his grandchildren probably were not excited about that right now, but later on, 10 years, 15 years down the road, when those children receive that gift, they're going to be so happy and they're going to be set up for success. We cover real life strategies for families on our YouTube channel, and from budgeting tips to explaining compound interest to your teenager. So it's definitely something I would utilize, and it's free to the public. Next, you need a roadmap, right? You need a good foundation to talk about some things. And I have about 5 topics for you that are really great to communicate with your family. The first one is emergency savings. Do you have about 3 to 6 months of income that saved up? Debt strategy. Is your debt managing you, or are you managing your debt? That's a big question. College planning. Are you going to save for college for your little ones, or are you going to utilize a different strategy there? And then retirement savings. What are your expectations for your retirement? That's a great communication subject, and it's great to get clear on as well, because you need to save up for that retirement, right? And then lastly is insurance. Do you have enough insurance if something were to happen and you're able to cover all expenses? So the goal isn't perfection, it's definitely progress here. And we're definitely in our Northern Michigan offices, not just our Traverse City one. We would love to sit down and talk with you, have a free consultation with a licensed professional on some of these topics. So many families put off one of the most important topics, and that is legacy and estate planning. Now, do you have a will or a trust in place? This is a good question to ask. And who are going to be the guardians of your children if something were to happen? Another question to ask yourself is, do my loved ones know where my legal documents are if something were to happen? And then lastly, have you talked with your aging parents about what would happen in the event of something happened to them? So legacy planning is not just for the wealthy. It's for someone that really cares about their family and they want to create a plan of action if something were to happen. We walk through all of this through wills and conversations about financials in a free consultation at our Northern Michigan locations. So please give us a call today. So no family is perfect. We're not talking about perfection here. We're just talking about progress and just communicating with your family about what your expectations are and about building a flexible plan together that might help with taking action. So what you can do today is you can go to our YouTube channel. There's valuable information there that you can sit with your family and talk about together, or come into one of our Northern Michigan locations and we can all talk about it together. So those are something that you can do today to help create clarity and take action.
Living life isn't always easy. It puts up challenges and obstacles you'll have to overcome. There are responsibilities. You put in effort to provide and take care of your family, and to save and invest, to balance work and life. Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well.
Your grandchildren are precious to you. They are your life. This is your time to have that special relationship. Taking care of yourself is taking care of them. Centennial Wealth Advisory is offering a free, no-obligation retirement review to make sure you don't run out of money during your retirement. Centennial Wealth Advisory. Your best is yet to come.
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip: The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better, check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
When you retire, how do you envision living out your golden years? Do you imagine yourself traveling the world, traveling the country, or pursuing your hobbies and passions? Today I'm going to discuss ways to keep your golden years golden. We'll walk through what makes the golden years golden and the two biggest threats to your enjoyment of your golden years. Retirement is a chance to redefine your life and pursue your passions that you may have put on hold, at least momentarily, during your working years. I've worked with hundreds of clients, helping them prepare for their retirement, and even after they've retired. And I enjoy hearing about their goals for their retirement and then seeing them pursue those goals during their retirement years. The most common goals I hear for the golden years are travel, pursuing hobbies, and visiting with family and friends. The travel goals I've seen include a couple of clients who took a trip all around Africa that included multiple safaris, a trip through multiple countries in Europe. And then I have those clients who just want to travel locally, whether it's the Midwest or the United States as well, in a camper and just travel all summer long. Hobbies for my clients include golf, boating, and gardening, just to name a few. As you prepare for retirement, it's really important you clearly define your what. You should think through what you want your retirement to look like, focusing on specific activities, passions, and relationships. Even if you are retired now, it is not too late to define your what. Remember, retirement is a time to embrace new experiences and live life on your own terms. By taking the time to envision your dream retirement and make thoughtful preparations, you can ensure a fulfilling and joyful chapter in your life. Once you've clearly defined your what, it is important to understand things that can negatively impact your golden years. The main two things that can hinder you from living the retirement you've always dreamed of are your health and your finances. When we discuss your health, this includes both your physical and also your emotional wellness. It is important to prioritize your health and wellness by staying active, eating well, and maintaining regular physician checkups. Your emotional wellness is impacted by many factors. It is helpful to cultivate strong social relationships to maintain a healthy mind. Many people find it beneficial to stay connected not only with their loved ones, but also by building new connections through activities and groups. The second thing that can derail your dreams and your golden years is financial issues. This is why it's so important to have a retirement plan. A comprehensive retirement plan should reflect your financial and your lifestyle goals. We work with our clients to develop a strategic plan for their retirement, and we adjust that plan as needed. This plan should provide a realistic breakdown of your income sources and expenses in retirement. If you have a shortfall for your income, we will help you determine the best way to make up the difference in your income from your retirement investments. Too often I see clients who have saved and invested their whole life, but they don't understand the next steps. They're not sure of the best way to pull income from their investments in retirement. This is one of the many areas we help our clients as they prepare for and after they've entered retirement. The output of a financial plan is only as good as the input entered into the plan at the start. We will review with you not only the initial plan, but we'll make adjustments when needed to confirm the correct information has been entered. If you want to make sure that your golden years are indeed golden, you want to avoid any surprises in retirement. Our goal is to do everything we can to help our clients live out a happy and healthy life in retirement. We want you to thrive in your golden years. If you are not yet a client of Centennial Wealth Advisory, we would be happy to set up a time to connect with you. This meeting would be a no cost and no obligation meeting at one of our 5 offices in Northern Michigan. This meeting gives us a chance to learn more about your situation and for you to ask any questions you may have of us. And again, as I said earlier, it is a no cost and no obligation meeting, and that is a fact. It is a time for us to sit down with you, hear your story, learn more about your situation, and see if we might be able to help. If you would like to schedule a meeting, don't delay. Follow the instruction on the screen to contact us. You can email us one of our offices, you can call us, we will answer the phone. We look forward to helping you plan to retire well.
If you are nearing retirement or already retired, we invite you to an exciting and informative live event with a complimentary gourmet dinner to help you plan to retire well. There is no cost and no obligation, and dinner is on us. Information is power. Let us help you make educated financial decisions, such as understanding Social Security do's and don'ts. What year-end tax planning opportunities should you consider? Is your financial plan still on track? Alphabet soup with retirement plans. What should you be using? Asset location versus asset allocation. Which matters more? We are Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial professionals, specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan, with offices in Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, Cadillac, and Manistee. Call 888-608-5825 or register online and choose the date and location that works best for you. Tuesday, September 9th at Boone's Long Lake Inn in Traverse City. Wednesday, September 10th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Manistee. Wednesday, September 10th at the Perry Hotel in Petoskey. Tuesday, September 16th at Slate in Traverse City. Wednesday, September 17th at Treetops Hunters Grill in Gaylord, or Wednesday, September 17th at Ferris State University in Big Rapids. The live event starts at 6:30 p.m. and is free to attend, with a complimentary gourmet dinner to follow. But seating is limited and tends to fill quickly. Call 888-608-5825 or register online to reserve your seats today. Don't miss this important live event to help you plan to retire well. After more than a decade of stock market growth, volatility jolted investors back to the harsh reality of occasional market pullbacks in the investing cycle. Download our free white paper, Navigating Market Volatility. It's all about perspective, for an in-depth analysis of historic lessons and time-tested investment strategies. Simply go to sen-wealth.com, scroll down and click the link Navigating Market Volatility. It's all about perspective to receive your free copy of this valuable and informative resource. Centennial Wealth Advisory is expanding, and we are excited to add a new office in Manistee to better serve our growing family of clients. Our new office is located in the historic Briney Building in the center of idyllic downtown Manistee. Whether you are an existing client or would like to meet for the first time for your free, no-obligation initial consultation, we look forward to welcoming you in our new office or at any of our Northern Michigan locations in Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, Cadillac, or Manistee.
I want to take a little bit of time today and talk about kind of this concerning trend I'm seeing with conversations out there when speaking with people and like their investment expectations and also their kind of disregard to investment risk anymore. And this can happen when, I'll use the saying, when things are too good to be true. You've heard that saying over the years, or where we kind of seem like we have such this positive momentum that it gives us this false sense of optimism sometimes out there. And let me give you an example. So kind of looking back over the last few years, going back to let's say the year 2017, and the S&P 500, and these are general, are getting, kind of very close. I'm not giving exact numbers here, but we've had returns as, 2017 and coming forward, there's been years of 19%, 28%, 26%, 24%, another 23%. Very, very positive years in the market that I would say are much higher than the average, much higher than the mean. So there's been this great optimism to equity performances, and then which sometimes leads to FOMO, fear of missing out, right? You see in the news, oh, the market's up, or you hear friends talking about, I had this return, and you're thinking, what? maybe I didn't get that. Or if you are, hey, yep, I got that too. But there's kind of this, you don't want to be left in the dust when there's these great positive returns out there, and understandably so. You don't want to miss out on the good when you can get that. Now though, keep in mind, let's look at another period of time not that long ago. So this is going back to around 2000, -10, -13, -23, then a couple single digit years, 8, 3, and then the big one in 08, -38%. Again, those are rough numbers, but you get the idea. We often as investors lose track of some of the options that can happen out there, right? Some of the risk that can happen. So my point in bringing this to your attention isn't to scare you. It's not to say you shouldn't be invested in the markets. More than likely, depending on your financial situation, you probably should have some exposure to that. What I'm challenging you today is don't lose track of what it can go the other way. Meaning, again, your investment should be tailored to your specific plan with your specific needs and also matching your specific risk tolerance. Your situation is likely different than your neighbor's, likely different than the plumber that may be bragging about their returns when they stop by to repair your toilet, and likely different than any friends and family. So you shouldn't be comparing your returns with them. You should be talking about this with your financial advisor, and you should be having this matched up with your specific financial plan, so when these things happen, then you're well prepared for that. Again, different stages of life, if you're somebody watching the show today and you're 25, 30 years old and you're putting money in your company's 401k plan, your situation is going to be vastly different than maybe your parents who are in retirement and they're living off of their portfolio as their life income, and this has to last for their life. So you should have different plans, likely different investments. I also see people in these times where the market is doing really good. And when I say market, I'm kind of generalizing, equities and stocks and stuff like that. Some are doing better than others, obviously. But people tend to forget whole asset classes, as an example. If a stock is doing 20% a year, it's easy to forget maybe about, let's say, a bond or a CD or something that's a little bit more secure in comparison to an equity that's maybe paying 4 or 5%. It's easy to forget about those when things are doing so well otherly. Again, my challenge to you is the market is the market. It's going to do what it's going to do, but don't let it sweep you out from underneath your plan. Don't let that wonderful returns that we've experienced in this then change your financial plan only because of past returns and the fear of missing out on something else. Again, there should be a place for this in your plan if it's appropriate. So if you have questions or you're concerned you might not be getting the full potential, or maybe you're concerned, I have been getting those returns and maybe this is too good to be true, let's sit down, let's do a risk assessment, let's see how your portfolio matches your plan, and dive into this so you can plan to retire well and stay retired well along with it.